That, I mean, you're gonna wish you had done that all through soccer. I mean, I'm telling you, if athletes did yin, it would just be, it would be so much better. So basically, we hold poses for time, and you are stressing the fascia, which is a good stress, because the way that your fascia is, the fibers, the elastin, the collagen fibers, you can't stretch it and lengthen it, or, I mean, very little. So you can't really call it stressing or stretching, because you're not elongating them. You're just gently stressing them. And when people have a lot of pain in their body and they keep stretching, they're trying to stretch here and trying to stretch there, and nothing ever happens, nothing comes of it. It's not because of the muscles, it's because the fascia. I mean, in the fascia, think of it, that artificial crab meat?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that artificial crab meat, and it's wrapped in that wrapper. Just like that artificial crab meat is your muscle, and that wrapper is fascia. All right, and then you can take the wrapper off and you peel out each little strand. You can have the big, thick crab meat, and each of those little strands is your muscle fibers. And around your muscle fibers is fascia, and it goes all the way down to where the action of the muscle begins, right? And so if anything is kinked up, it just has a ripple effect. And that fascia on the outside of the muscle actually turns into tendons, which is connected to, connects muscle to bone. And then ligament is a type of fascia as well, which connects bone to bone. And so that almost becomes like a sticky point for people. And if you don't stress that, then there's only so much flexibility that you're going to be able to achieve.
Right.
If you stress that, then it can start to actually manipulate the muscles and not allow the muscles to do what they need to do. And that's where people start to have a lot of pain. So that's kind of the physical part of yin. The mental part of yin is that it requires us to be still. It requires us to have to go inside, have to not meditate, have to focus on our breathing, and we have to be. We can't be doing, and so it's, I would be lying if I said it wasn't painful. It's extremely painful. It's, to me, did I cut off? Ashley froze. Did I freeze too?
No. You froze up a little bit, but I could still hear you.
Okay, cool. It seems like when the wind blows, it kind of freezes up. That's weird. But what was I saying now?
You're talking about
painful. Yeah, it's really painful.
Yeah, so I've done it twice, and it was a little painful, especially like on my knees holding them, but afterwards I felt great.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it in a while.
Good. Well, how long ago did you do it?
Last semester, so like October-ish.
Oh, good. Fairly recently. Yeah, but I mean, like, if you can make that like a routine, I'm telling you, girl, like you being so young, especially, you're going to be ahead of the game when you get older. No canes or walkers for you.
Funny you should say that. One of my professors at A&M, I mean, I didn't realize how older he was because he was almost more agile than I am, and he actually taught yoga on the side, but I think he was like 60, and it's like the way he would like just spring around, and he's able to bend over and pick up stuff so easily. And he does yoga all the time.
Yep. I'm telling you, it's medicine. It's medicine for your body. And people have all these excuses that they don't want to go do yoga because they're not flexible. They don't have time. But if you can put that into your life, that's why you should do it. Especially why you should do it. If you're not flexible or if you don't have time, that's a reason you should do it. Because when you find that stillness, it requires you to kind of go inside. Then you just naturally start to prioritize better, and just everything just creates more time for yourself. We're going to be going over that next week too. Yeah. So what else you got for me? This really was just like supposed to be whatever you want. Totally up for you.
Yeah. I'm assuming you've heard of that inversion class they're doing at Yoga Pod?
Yes. Oh, arm balances, you mean?
Is it Carson?
Carson, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that?
I was thinking about it, but I'm not sure because I don't have it would be something I would like to do. My upper body strength isn't super there yet, so I didn't know if it was really like a beginner's.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely for beginners. You have the strength. A lot of times people, it is about a strength in the upper body and the core, but a lot of it literally is a balance. It's just balancing on your hands. So you've got to have that strength, but you also learn how to equalize, put your weight where it needs to go to be able to hold that arm balance. And so instead of thinking of it about not having the strength, go in there with the attitude of learning about just how to balance your body out and where you need to distribute the weight.
Yeah, I thought it would help with form and stuff, but I didn't know if, you need to be a certain amount of strength in your upper body or have any experience.
Nah.
Really?
No. And Carson is like very, very popular guy, apparently. I don't know much about him, but in the fact that we're getting him here is pretty cool.
Yeah.
When is that? Do you remember when that is?
It's on a Tuesday.
This Tuesday?
I think it's like the 25th.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm going to try to make it if Dane doesn't have a football game. I'm going to make it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so.
There was one thing I wanted to talk to you about yesterday when you were in class and I was watching your form, but I forget what it was. When you come back to class, I should have written it down, but when you come back to class, I'll make more of a note of it, a mental note of it. Okay. And it wasn't anything big. It was just, was it your downward dog? I can't remember. It was something. Next time you come to class, I'll look at it, and then I'll come over and talk to you about it during class so I don't forget again.
Let's say I think the only time I came over was in Warrior 2 to kind of press the outside of my foot down on the back foot.
Did you feel like you had your weight back there on the back foot?
Yeah, I had some weight. It's just it's really easy if you're not paying attention to kind of just like let your foot roll in.
Yes.
And so it does feel better once you push the foot out. It's just if you're not thinking about it, it can just be.
I know. And there can be so much to think about. And that's, it really kind of depends on, first of all, you and the instructor, if they're form-based or if they're going to let you get away with a little bit more. But one thing I did that particularly because it was a strength building class.
Yeah.
And, if you're in your Warrior 2 here, it's almost like you're trying to split the mat in two. And so you're kind of pressing away energy down and out, energy out with the hands, and you're kind of up. Even in Goddess, if you can think about lifting the arches of the feet and putting the weight kind of on the blade of the foot, it really just helps you, one, engage the glutes, but two, find stability and ground the pose a little bit. So, here's a fun thing. Go into Warrior 2 at home, put your foot in the crack or the crease where the wall meets the ceiling, right? I'm sorry, where the wall meets the floor. Put your foot right there, pressing it hard, and then see that you'll be able to see how much weight you really should be putting on that back foot. Okay. Some people even say in Warrior 1, right here, that if you have, because you're pressing the weight in the front foot too, but if you have the weight properly distributed in the back foot, you can actually lift the front leg. Okay. That's crazy to me. But you'll see the difference in how much your glute has to engage to be able to do that. Like,
Yeah.
that almost hurt right there, my butt. Plus, I'm sore from all the classes yesterday. Are your
Oh my
abs
god, I wasn't super sore yesterday. I was just tired, but then like, so I took my little to the movies, and then I went to the grocery store. I do the Big Brother Big Sister program, so I have a little sister.
Oh,
But
cool.
I went to the grocery store, and I wound up going crazy because I was in the produce section. Just everything sounded good, so I just got like a little bit of everything, and I was trying to carry all the bags up. So I live on the 3rd floor, and I was trying to do it in one trip. And about like halfway up, my arms were so tired. And I got there, and like I couldn't even lift them all the way up on the counter. I had to like set them down on the floor. Yeah, and I'm sore today.
That's so funny. Yeah, my abs are really sore today, and I didn't do half of what y'all did.
Oh yeah, that was a shock. Really shocked.
Well, all right, cool. Do you have any other questions?
No, not
Okay.
really.
Yeah, just play around with your warriors, and I think this week we're really gonna focus on the hips, and I want people to kind of learn how they work. So I want to actually go over a little bit of anatomy of them, because they're such an important. I mean, they connect the top and the bottom of our body. You know, they're such an important part of our anatomy. And then from there, we're going to talk about how to properly align them, because there's 2 different ways you can hold your hips in a yoga pose, and it's one rotating in, or 3 different. One rotating out, both rotating out, or neutral forward. So
Yeah,
there's just a couple, there's not a whole lot that you have to think about. I think if you just realize that there's very few ways to put your hips in yoga, then it's a little bit easier to understand a pose.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. And I probably need to work on like flexibility in my hips too, because um,
Because what?
I said my hips get tight.
Yeah. And that may help with the hip click. I don't know. My hips are pretty tight too, and I still click.
I think the clicking thing's just gonna be around for a while.
Yeah.
I was just curious if there's anything else to do.
We'll see. I mean, maybe as we do get more flexible, I just feel like for me personally, it's always going to be there, because I'm always teaching, and I don't take care of my body probably as much as I should with the amount of classes that I teach.
Yeah.
But maybe we can get rid of it. Who knows?
Wishful thinking. We'll see.
Cross our fingers. Well, have a great rest of the day. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm gonna paint my chairs.
That's